Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Esports Masters League. We are here tonight for Premier 1 action, and it's round 7 of the championship as we take in the Italian Grand Prix from the original Italian Grand Prix circuit, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, otherwise known, of course, as the Monza Circuit. My name is James Head. I'm back, and I'm going to be taking to the stream once again on a Wednesday night, and joining me in the commentary box, fresh from filling in from my illness last week, it is Mr. Ivan Tonchik. Ivan, how you doing?
Good evening to you, James. Buonasera a tutti. A little bit of Italian there from me. Yeah, tonight we are going for another legendary circuit after Suzuka, Autodromo Nazionale Monza, the legendary circuit in Italy. One of the fewer tracks that has been on that has been part of F1 since the beginning. Obviously, a track that was built way back in 1922. There are some layout changes through the history, of course, with the banking, with no banking. We're changing some corners, adding chicanes, removing chicanes. But yeah, the track didn't lose its soul. Still, it's one of the best when it comes to racing and the entertainment. Of course, the atmosphere. It's for me, it's a no match with the atmosphere that Tifosi give us every race we go there, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some good racing here tonight in EML.
Yeah, home of the Tifosi, of course, here at the Autodromo Internazionale di Monza. I can't wait, certainly, to bring you the action, and I'm sure we are in absolute palpable strength, potentially, in terms of the action that is going to be happening, of course, out on track tonight. To remind you, of course, and to remind me, certainly, of what happened last week, we've got the race result for the top 10 from the Japanese Grand Prix. Very interesting race last week. Marlon Ad on top from Sapala in second, Gil there in third, Atlas finishing fourth, Matteo in fifth, Nardi Perez in sixth, Rufy there in seventh. I think that was his first appearance for NLR in seventh there last week in Japan. Axelino on eighth, Slash there in ninth, and Tom rounding off the top 10 in what was a real fraught race, I think, in EML Premier 1 last week. To run you through then the team standings as a result of that, Premier 1, of course, on the left-hand side, Premier 2, which is also going to be live very soon indeed, on the right-hand side, and NLR still hold the lead, but it's a reduced margin of 15 points now from FVR there in second on 181. Once again, they've got a very strong lineup coming into tonight. EC8 in third and 154, Relentless in fourth and 144. They're the real big gainers, I think, as a result of recent results here in EML Premier 1. VIR in fifth on 123, LFR in sixth on 105, Team Ace in seventh on 104, formerly, of course, Team RAC. GSP in 8th on 97, FRL Esports in 9th on 82, and QRT Esports in 10th on 69 points. NLR, though, holding the lead at a reduced margin, 15 points the gap. The likes of ET8 and Relentless, though, are slowly coming up. This is everybody's game coming into tonight.
Yeah, it is. It will really be interesting to see what will be outcome of this race, because as I said, pretty much every team has something to fight for. Even if they're not fighting for the top, they are fighting for the higher positions in the midfield, let's say. So basically, it's like F1 used to be a couple years ago when the hybrid era just started with F1 and F1 and so-called F1.5 with the top teams and the midfield teams. But yeah, as I said, hopefully you'll see some great racing on the track that has also to repass the gave us some iconic moments. Most recently, Pierre Gasly taking the win in AlphaTauri in 2020. Also, 2021, Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris 1-2 for McLaren after 9 years of not winning the race, and also as well Sebastian Vettel taking his maiden win on this track way back in 2008 for Scuderia Toro Rosso.
Yeah, definitely. And AlphaTauri, of course, have been a real mainstay, I think, in Italy, in Italian racing. Certainly 2008, as you mentioned, 2021 with Pierre Gasly. We have got a full grid, which
2020 with Pierre Gasly.
2020 with Pierre Gasly. 2020,
Yeah.
goodness me. It has been a long time, honestly, since I watched that Grand Prix. So you can probably tell that I've got short-term memory loss rather than long-term memory loss, I think, as a result of my facts there tonight. Everyone's in the lobby, by the way. We're just going to run through the driver lineup before I tell everyone to ready up. There has been quite a few changes to the driver lineup that you'll see on your screen. Nicole and Catterson in for ET8. That remains unchanged, with Jake Hall and Izza in for the Mercedes for Relentless. F10 and GSP Payne, who was due to be taking part, play Tendo instead, is instead in the McLaren, replacing their reserve, who was Yurito. Marlon and Atlas were due to be part of Aston Martin. However, looking at my screen, Futzbab is in for Atlas coming into tonight. Marlon, of course, F3 champion from PSGL. Dara and YS Brand were due to be part of the Alpine team for QRT. Yusbrand, though, is still in. Replacing him, of course, is QRT Snipes, who had wretched luck last night in the Shazoo Racing Championship for QRT. FVR have got Louis and Romanino in. Louis not partaking, though, for FVR. So still quite a few changes, and I'm just trying to have a look through to see who FVR has got tonight. Nardi Perez is definitely not one of their drivers tonight. And the other one, I'm just trying to look through. Where's the other FVR man? Romanino, and I can't see the other FER man. Give me a second. It's Harry. Sorry, it's Harry.
Harry, yeah.
Yeah, it is Harry that is replacing. Sorry. Goodness me, I got confused there. Harry is in for Louis for FBR. Grosjean and Tom in for Team Ace. Axelino and Garufo in for NLR. Kyle Scarrett and Sadi there in for FRL. And then Tim and Keki in for LFR in Haas team. Looking through that driver lineup, obviously a few changes to the driver lineup that we received a little bit earlier on, but FVR once again, even with Louis at the squad, Romanino and Harry I know was quite quick from WR, surely FVR, we say it every week, surely FVR are the team to beat, but judging by the standings, there's about 3 or 4 teams that could actually challenge them tonight.
Yeah, I'm not daring to predict anything at the moment, as EML and league racing in general is very unpredictable. You never know what will happen, and yeah, it's so really tough to make some predictions as people are starting to ready up slowly.
Yeah, indeed. And we can have a look then at the track map in question as a result. 5.7 kilometres and then 3.5 mile. Of course, the Autodromo International de Monza, shaped like a boot, this track. 11 corners away to now drivers, of course, out on track with just the 2 DRS on. Of course, one down the start finish straight and then one down through the Cova del Serralio in towards the Ascari chicane through the left-hander there, of course, and hopefully there's going to be some really good action, of course, out on track in terms of the overtaking that we could possibly see out on track tonight. Now, nobody will complain at me in terms of the weather either. I have put it on midday. If it is not on midday and it's not to your liking, I will restart the lobby as soon as possible. But I have put it on midday. I've checked, I've saved the settings. Everything seems fine. So we should be all in order for a first-time start here in qualifying tonight as we now load into the lobby. And once again, beautiful blue skies and sunshine. Exactly what we like to see. Means everyone's on an even playing field.
Yeah, as I'm still loading into the qualifying, I don't know if you're slightly ahead. Yeah, let's see what will happen tonight.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Now the graphics pop up on the left-hand side. I was getting a little bit concerned there, thinking somebody's going to have to leave the lobby. But there we go. All 20 drivers are in. They should also have quite a few invites to obviously partake if they do. Obviously disconnect during the session, and we'll get the graphics up there so everyone can see beautifully the track map and everything. We are waiting now for the first cars to leave on track. It looks like LFR Tim potentially is going to be one of the first out on track. He's just gone up to first gear, so I'm assuming he's going to be coming out the pit lane very soon indeed. As will, I think, Izza getting ready there in the Mercedes garage there for Team Relentless. Tim is, however, the first man out on track. That's beautiful because he's first out on he's first on the graphics, first out on track. hopefully hoping to be first coming across the line after the 27 laps here in Italy. But Tim, of course, part of the LFR team, who recently signed one of the Brazilian drivers to their team. Of course, a Brazilian founded team, Latam Formula Racing, to give their full name. Tim, obviously out there. Garufo, obviously out there. We know from qualifying in Canada, he was very strong around there. How do you rate LFR's chances, though, coming in tonight? They've got Tim and Keki, and both of them have been delivering some good performances in the EML Premier this season.
Yeah, to be honest, I forgot if team even raced if I was on when I was on comms. But Keki, yeah, he's proving that he has pace. He's consistently up there. Maybe not straight at the top, but not really in midfield. So close, but so far away from top. He's in, let's say, some sort of golden middle. And in Suzuka, I know he was really unlucky with spins, incidents, and etc. Maybe he should watch out more to not get into those risky situations too much, and he'll start to collect more points for the team.
Yeah, let's run on both of them then. Coming through Parabolica or Curva Alboreto to give it its full name from 2021, of course, named after Michele Alboreto. As Tim now comes down in towards turn number 1, you will reach in excess of around 215 to 220 mile an hour into the braking zone of turn number 1. 270 reaching towards turn number 1. Just got caught their curb on the left-hand side there slightly, but he has got his teammate just ahead of him, coming out of the quick lane. Beautifully judged now coming through. Yeah, he's going to get slipstream coming through Curva Grande, and now Curva Biasono, actually, to give it his full name these days. Tim now through the first sector, 26 flat, already quicker than what we should be expecting on these first runs, so looking quite good through the Della Roggia chicane, and then in towards the right-hander of Lesmo 1, and then again in towards the right-hander of Lesmo 2. Of course, not to be confused with anything that might be popping into your heads at this point, you dirty-minded people. Tim now coming down through the Curva del Scoraglio, down in towards Ascari. And now Tim looking quite good in this middle sector. 52.3 in the middle sector, so very, very strong early on. Beautiful through Ascari. That is about as much commitment I've seen on this game through there. Beautifully done from Tim as he now runs towards Parabolica or Curva Alboreto to give it its full name. There's a crash off the left-hand side of the car, getting out of the way to one of the relentless guys. I think as now Tim comes through the final corner on the run towards the line. It might be a 118, I think, to start off the night. Tim to the line, 118.9. That's a very quick lap to start off the session.
Yeah, really, really good lap in from Tim. He really got. He really nailed this track. As he seemed that he was on rails through the entirety of the lap. Only the slightly big moment. He had a small moment on the exit of Parabolica or Curve Michele Alboreto. And when he's the rear, it seemed it slide a little bit under acceleration, but apart from that, really good luck from Tim.
Snipes looking to go towards the top end of the field. He goes 6th with a 19.3. Not too bad at all from him. Tim the Wad on top, Harry in second, Molan in third. I think the big thing to take from that lap is Keki is now running down the Curva del Scoraglio in towards the Ascari chicane. One thing to take off that was the amount of time that Tim gained compared to the rest of the field. He's about 2/10 clear nearly of Harry there in second. That slipstream effect is very potent around this track. You can gain around 3-4 tenths per second. At case, coming through Curva Grande up towards the Della Roggia chicane, and that's exactly what Tim exploited. Obviously allowed within EML. We've seen it obviously before in Canada where drivers were giving slipstream, especially from the FER team. Keki down the run towards the line though for LFR, or LFR, I did say that right first. 19.4 from him. He goes into 7th. Not a bad lap there at all. Anybody else on the lap? Nicolope, I think, is down on the lap.
Axelino is finishing the lap. And goes fourth.
Yeah, fourth, 19.2. Not a bad lap at all from the NLR boys, of course, leading the team standings coming into tonight. Tim out on top, though, from Harry in second, Moran on third. We've had a spinner through the first sector. I think that might be Slash, potentially, coming through. And actually, he's now coming through the middle sector of the Ascari.
I think that's one of the Alpines.
Was it one of the Alpines? It is one of the Alpines. I think that might be Justran, potentially, up a lap.
Yeah, Storm is finishing his lap right now, exiting Parabolica or Michele Alboreto corner and goes 15th, but quickly gets demoted to 16th.
Yep, and removed by Slash, who I was on board with, coming across the line there, 19.461, not too bad at all from him. It's Tim out on top though, Harry in second, Molon there in third. Looking at the chat, good evening to everyone, by the way, that is tuning in. Mike saying, hello James and Ivan, how are you both doing tonight? We're both doing really well, I think, in terms of, certainly my illness. I had COVID last week, so that's why I wasn't here for EML Premier 1. Still a little bit touchy in terms of my voice, but we are back to full health, luckily. And hopefully I'm not going to recatch it, which is good. And Ivan is doing very well as well alongside me in the commentary box. And Skyline, who has been part, of course, of the EML team for VIR, he's predicting a VIR 1-2 today. And if there's anything to go by from Japan, obviously, last week, Marlon took the win. VIR have got big high hopes. Currently 3rd, though, and 11th in qualifying.
Yeah, speaking of Japan, VAR really seemed to be in class of their own at the race, because I remember Atlas got caught up in the, I think, 1 or 2 incidents at the start, but still managed to get 4th, and he was really fighting for the podium. Marlon, the only guy who really seemed to keep it clean at all time, and demonstrating some brilliant race pace and awareness, etc. Was really in class of his own that day. And if they manage to carry that form into once, I don't see that scenario of VAR 1-2 around here impossible.
Yeah, it's not looked too bad, I think, for qualifying so far from them. Izak, by the way, is a couple of tenths behind what his lap time should be. He's coming through the middle sector, 53 flat in the middle sector, currently down there in 20th position. Grosjean as well on a lap for Team Ace. Ace, of course, formerly Team RIC, if nobody knew about that. Tom and Grosjean currently 17th and 18th. Grosjean, I think, is on the run through the middle sector at some point, I believe, as this now runs towards the line. And the Singaporean goes 18th. That is disappointing from Eza. Obviously, but a second behind Tim.
Tim is up on his time. Tim is up on his time. And his lap is in the bin.
Yeah.
Now I'm commentating discussing tonight, it seems.
Yeah, he ran too much curb, I think, coming through the Della Roger chicane, and he went into the gravel on the left-hand side. I literally flicked on board with that, and I thought, yeah, he's in the gravel there. He's did all left wheels in the car, in the gravel, and that's why Tim there down. Still in first position. Harry is responding, though, in the first sector split. 25-9. First sector from Harry. That is great from Harry through the first sector. FPR obviously going to be carrying the speed. Romanino as well is on a lap. He's coming down the straight, I think, in towards turn number 3 through Cover Grande he's going through. But Harry on the run through this middle sector, looking very assured. Little bit laggy coming out of the exit. Tim though out on top, Harry in second, Molon there in third, and we're pretty much halfway through qualifying at this point. As Harry's middle sector, 52.3, 4 tenths up.
He really seemed to have this sector nailed. Really aggressive in the Ascari. Aggressive, but not too aggressive.
Yeah, Skyline saying Marlon's a beast there in the chat. I think Harry's a beast on this lap. He's 4 tenths up and improving again through this final sector. Harry's on an absolute wicked lap. He's on the run towards the line. That might just be pole position. 18.699. He's 3 tenths clear of Tim, who was just going on to another one. He's actually given a slipstream, teammate slipstream coming through the first sector. Romanino has backed off a lap. Axelino to the line, 19.2. I think he's just started on a lap, I think. But Harry out on top, Tim in second, Molon on third. That lap time is going to be difficult to beat now.
Yeah, as Romanino is up on time, but he picks. Snipes is finishing his lap or will he finish his lap pretty soon? The QRT driver sitting in P7 at the moment in his Alpine.
Yep, in towards Parabolica he comes in the Alpine. Can the QRT man go towards the top end of the field? He actually bails coming in the pit lane. I thought he was down in his lap time, but that just proves it. He comes back into the pit lane. Obviously, want to try and get another one. Yeah, Keki round coming through Parabolica. On board with him, he was 300s up in the middle sector. Didn't look too bad, but he just catches too much curve on the left-hand side and spins the car around. It's very easy to do. I've done that plenty of times before on this game. Harry out on top of Tim in second. Molon there in third. 7 minutes to go still in qualifying, as I think Slash is on a lap coming through the middle sector, and he's 4.5 tenths up.
Yeah, really good lap from Slash at the moment.
Oh no!
As soon as I say that,
Commentator's curse.
I learned from the best, haven't I?
You have learned from the best. You have indeed. But that was just, I think, getting a bit of snap of oversteer coming through Ascari and trying to not correct it too much. And that's what Slash has failed to do. Obviously corrected it. Car decided to go one way, he went the other way, basically, and that was the oversteer kicking in, and Slash led down in 12th position. Still, though, if he can get a really good run in, he should be top 10, I think, quite comfortably, in terms of his pace there. Just trying to see if there's anybody else on the lap as well. Footspab is on the lap, Zero is on the lap as well, but he has got 0 lap times at this moment in time, because he's invalidated through the middle sector. He's coming through Parabolica back in the pits. Footspab, though, on the run to the line. VIR looking quite confident with Footspab. It's my first time commentating them. Not confident, though, with his lap, and he bails coming into the pit lane as well. And Ace Tom is on lap 52.5 in the middle sector, coming through Parabolica. The AlphaTauri man looking very quick, actually, on this lap. If he does really want to go for this run, he will go to the line with this run. And he goes 5th, 19.2. Big improvement.
Yeah, really, really big improvement. From Tom.
Hold on a minute. Marlon in the first sector. 25.9. Oh, and he's just invalidated coming out of the Della Roger chicane. It's absolutely typical. Really good first sector, and he bottles it coming through Della Roger.
Okay, at least I'm not the only one who's going to eat a cursing for tonight.
It's so difficult. It is so difficult. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else on the lap as well. I think Romanino's just started up on another run for FBR. He's currently there in 6th position. Playtendo as well on the run to the line in the McLarens. On the run to the line, I think he might be just preparing up for a lap potentially. Izza through the first sector, 26.1, but he butchers a Delaware chicane as well. Luckily not invalidated, but that exit has cost him about 0.2 of a second, let alone in terms of any improvement on his lap. But it's Harry on top, Tim in second, more on there in third. Is on run down at the not Della Roger curve, it's the Curva del Serralio. Coming in towards Ascari. He's not looked too bad in this middle sector. 52.9 though. A little bit off the pace. Izza should be quicker than this.
And I was at the moment watching Romanino, who is actually finishing his second sector at the moment, and 3 tenths up, increasing his advantage from first sector. Now it's all about the exit from Parabolica and slingshotting himself on the best way possible on the start-finish straight, taking the short line. Romanino, second FBR control lockout. Whoa, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Games are on. Gloves are off.
Yep, gloves are off indeed. And still 4 minutes ago in the session. Harry the Lad on top, Romanino now in second. That's a very strong lap from Romanino. He improved in that middle sector. That's where he found all the time. Final sector, though, he was still quick, and he gained another 10.5 in that final sector. That's what consolidated his lap time into second position for now. Nicolope is on a lap as well. He's 700ths down in the middle sector. He's on the run through Parabolica. We've got limited cars out on track at this stage. Romanino obviously is down on the lap. Tim is on an out lap, though. He's coming through the Della Roger chicane. Nicolope, though, bails coming in the pit lane. Absolutely typical. He was looking like he was going to improve on that lap. Tim, next man, and he's pretty much got, for now, a free track to himself to show us what he can do with an 18.9 original pole position. But the FER boys now in town. Tim has got a little bit of time to now gain on Romanino and Harry.
Yes, I think Haas of Kekir is already exiting from pits to already prepare a slipstream for his teammate. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I saw something wrong. That could be the case as well. But yeah, Tim starting his lap pretty soon.
Yep, let's red on board with them. Coming through Parabolica. We'll turn the timing tower off on the left-hand side, just given that there's nobody on a lap at this stage. His teammate is coming out the pit lane now. Unfortunately for him, it's absolutely butchered. There's his teammate. coming out of the pit lane, down in towards turn number 1. It's actually going to be well judged, actually, from the Haas boys. I thought it was going to be a little bit worse from where. And Tim now coming to the left hand of turn number 1 and 2 at the Resophilia chicane. In towards cover BSO at turn number 3, slowing up their Keki in front to give him that slipstream, to give him the full effect, and that is purely judged compared to what we saw with Tim on his first run, and the slipstream is not going to be there, but it's a 25.9. Maybe he doesn't need slipstream. Maybe he can back it up with his pace. Coming through the double chicane.
Yeah, really attacking aggressively.
Yeah,
now literally throwing the car into Lesmo.
Yeah, looking good actually through the Lesmos.
Oh.
As soon as I say that, he invalidates on the outside curb, and that is a commentator's curse.
Tom is out. Tom is out.
Yeah, I think he's retired on the pit lane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, also VAR. Marlon is heading out on track. Also footbab. So VAR boys heading back on track to try to improve their positions with slightly more than a minute to go in this qualifying.
Yeah, more than a minute to go, but this minute or so is going to be quite hell for leather, and it's going to be plenty of improvements in a short space of time. Slash is the first man on the lap. He's now coming through Curva Grande in towards the left-hander of turn number 4. He's 500 up on his time. We saw in his middle sector what he was capable of. Whether or not that is going to be the case, it's a little bit sketchy coming out of there. The yellow flags in Sector 1 are just for the Haas boys. They're doing the slipstream trick once again. I think it's working this time for Keki rather than Tim. Slashville coming through Lesville 2, looking quite a shoot on this lap. I want to see what his middle sector is like compared to that 3/10 improvement that he was showing a little bit earlier on. Harry out on top, Romanino in second, Tim there in third, and he's only a 10.5 up this Slasher. He's struggling in that middle sector. Now coming out of Ascari, and he struggles even more because he's just invalidated.
Yeah, as I'm actually trying to, as I actually had to get my second controller in, as the battery in the other one died.
Axelino.
But yeah,
what?
Axelino is slightly down in the Sector 1.
Yeah, 500 down in Sector 1, and there's a car on the wall, and that is Snipes. Snipes out in the wall, coming through Lesville 2, as there was an improvement there. I think that was Silu's going to 6th.
Axelino is still down on his time.
He's had a quicker middle sector though. Oh, and he nearly gets a bit of traffic there from the Aston Martin on the right-hand side. I think that might have been Footspab, who was off a lap. Axelino, though, on the run.
Up, first sector.
Axelino, in the meantime, though, coming through Parabolica on the run towards the line. We'll see what Williams man can do. NLR hoping to try and get a little bit of a saving grace. No saving grace there. 7,000 of a second down. Romanino was fun coming through Lesville 2. That is him done. Harry is done on his lap as well. He's 2.5 tenths down. Hardly anybody's improving, apart from Marlon, who sets a really big middle sector, 52.4. In that middle sector coming out of Ascari, he is looking very quick indeed. On the run up towards Parabolica, as long as he stays valid through Parabolica, this might be going for second position for the VIR boys. But Harry out on top looks like he's done enough. Romanino in second, looks like he's done enough.
Really
it's all
wide.
depending on Marlon as he runs wide, coming through Parabolica on the run towards the line. Is he going to go second? No, he goes 4th in the end, an 18.974. Not a bad lap time at all from him. Siley was off a lap, and I think that's the end of qualifying, and indeed is. It is Harry out on top from Romanino there in second, Tim there in third, Marlon off the top 3 by 18 hundredths of a second. Very close margins, but Harry out on top, Romanino in second, FER 1-2, we're back.
Yeah, hopefully this is not saying that they'll get 1-2 in a race, and that teams behind them won't give up the fight without a fired shot, without even firing a bullet, and because I saw a tweet from them in the Discord server, in their social media channel of their Discord server. My goodness me, I cannot talk. That they got a 1-2 in one other team event prior to this. I think it was a couple of days ago.
It was the one I did last night for the Shazoo Racing Championship, and they picked up a screamingly 1-2 there, which was very good indeed. Might just be the effect that I have. It is a wet start to this race, though. Looking at the graphics there,
Wow.
obviously it's came up a little bit early because I was going to go to the advert, but I don't think we've got time for the advert. So we'll go through, obviously, that
It
qualifying
is what
session.
shot indeed.
It is intermediates, I think, off this race start.
Well. What a plot twist.
What a plot twist indeed. Bas Bramer saying Harry is Isma 2.0, Frankie. Yeah, I totally agree with that, to be honest. Harry has been doing quite well in WOR, obviously, on a Friday night, which I, of course, cover on for the top tier. Skyline saying GG's FVR as well. Good to see the love, by the way, that is shown between the teams here. 30-second countdown is not on, so I should have really started the advert, I think, by this point. But by the time I start the advert, it'll probably be time to go racing. Exactly, because the 30-second countdown has now started. So there's not going to be any advert. But of course, we'll play that at the end of this live stream. What are your predictions coming into tonight, Ivan? Who's your top three?
To be honest, I don't really know what to predict, but I'll say Harry, Tim, Axelino.
Interesting. I'm only going to make one prediction, and that's Chaos down in towards turn number one. All favorite white lights coming on here in Italy for round number 7 of the championship, and it is right hand away we go. Catterson gets a drive-through penalty off the restart, and Harry leads the way down in towards turn number 1 with Romanino chasing him down in towards turn number 1. Marlon and Tim are side by side with Garofalo going in towards turn number 1 as well. Garofalo's going to be very careful. They're not going to help him up on the brakes. There's a little bit of Constantino effect halfway down the field. Snipes has been caught up an instant. Catterson, I think, caught up an instant as well. Harry though leads the way, and Romanino's under pressure from Tim coming through Cover Grande for the first time. The Haas now on the outside line of the Ferrari running through Cover Grande. Now on the inside line is Tim, but he's going to back off, and Romanino there in second, Tim there in third. The green wall tyre obviously indicating they're all intermediate compounded tyres. Everyone I think got skiing through in the background. There's a lot of Constantino effect into the Della Roccia chicane, but not looking too bad as Catterson has now spun his drive-through penalty overarching him. He's just spun in the background there coming through the Della Roccia chicane, but it's Harry out on top, Romanino in second, Tim in third for the first half lap, and actually Harry has completely desing off the track, and he's going to lose the lead to Romanino coming down into the cover down Serraglio. Here comes Tim running back as well. The LFR man to the inside line. Is he going to get the job done? Yes, he does. That was an induced error by Harry out of Lesbill 2. Romanino through. Tim there in second. Harry in third. Marlon in fourth. And the front four pull away.
Yeah, as Axelino trying to technically OP as first lap it really went quick around this track. Obviously, one of the fastest in the F1 calendar. They don't call this track cathedral speed in F1, the temple of speed for no reason.
Yep, 78% of this lap can be taken to flat out speeds down towards turn number 1. Very late on the brakes there, Harry. And Tom contact with his own teammate.
Yeah, there's a contact that Axelino, I think, was involved in that. Had to cut the corner and got a 3-second time penalty. I am not sure what completely happened there. As I was watching the onboard from Axelino and not the broadcast point of view, but something happened in turn 1.
Snipes just absolutely sends it down the inside of Tom, who got caught up in that instant. I think both Team Ace drivers actually collected each other as a result of Constantina with Axelino, as you mentioned there. And Tom, I think, has got damage because slashes all over the back of him coming through Lesbill 2. Romanino was away and gone. He's a second clear out in front. Tim in second. Harry there in third. Slash though right on the back of Tom. Tom in the meantime on the back of Snipes, who's done a much better start compared to last night in SRC for QRT. And at this moment in time, he's there in 9th and 0 there in 8th.
Really wide into Ascari. Really sorry for cutting in there. Tim really wide into Ascari. To be fair, Hardy didn't took it quite ideally either, but yeah, Harry really struggling, it seems, in this kind of conditions as Marlon is closing in on both of those drivers ahead.
Yeah, Harry, by the way, has just had a comment from Jav, which I'm going to like on stream. Jesus, Harry's lag is scary. That is from the Team Relentless team manager right there. Footspab is through on Play Tendo down in towards turn number 1. Play Tendo has been outgunned by Footspab in towards turn 1. The VAR man is through in the Aston Martin. He's through and he's into 12, and he gets absolutely re-rendered from Justran, and it's going to cause all kinds of team effect through the through the retrofit chicane at turn number 1 and 2. Justran got completely caught out there. He was too late on the brakes. He absolutely hopped the curb. Play Tendo got caught up in that as well, and now Keki's in the fight running in toward the Roger chicane. And I think everyone's hopefully going to get clean through and all of this. And indeed they are. They respect each other coming through the Roger chicane, which is good to see. Play 10, 11, 13, losing out of position to Footspab. And that, from Justbrand, must have been just too late on the brakes. He just cannoned into the side of him into turn number 1.
Yeah, as I didn't manage to catch that. As Axelino is once again closing in on Nick Leopi ahead. No, he's not. I was watching the wrong gap. Nick Leopi is actually closing in on the Gerofio ahead.
Oh. Sorry to cut you off here though, Ivan, because Slash absolutely flew past Tom. That is a beautiful move from Slash. Worked to absolute perfection coming out of Ascari. Tom was all sideways in terms of his lag, in terms of potential desync there, but can't take anything away from Slash. That was beautifully put on. And now look at this, because Footspab's right on the back of this as well, running halfway down the straight. The rain is still falling, by the way, out of track.
Standing on, trying to make a send. Kind of Ricciardo kind of sent on Tim, but hopefully he didn't put his. He did not commit to that move.
Footspab, in the meantime, in terms of that battle, Slash is right on the back of Snipes coming out of Curva Grande. Footspab got the job done on Tom. Tom broke a little bit early. Footspab was so good on the brakes, and he might just be good on the brakes here, around the outside, in toward the Delaroche chicane. He pulls this off. This will be one of the best moves of the season. Doesn't though. He respects once again Slash. Really good respectful driving. This is racing right here. This is the pinnacle of league racing. Rummelino leads the way. Tim in second. Harry in third. But you mentioned there, Harry obviously on the back of Tim, now just beginning to lose a little bit of threat because Marlon, PSGL F3 champion, is right on the back of him.
Yeah, as I switched the battle between Slash and Snipes, Slash won mega move going into Ascari because at the exit of second Lesmo he got quite a big, some snap oversteer that compromised his momentum going onto the Serrallo straight. But I think if he continues with this pace, he will overtake the Alpine driver ahead of him in no time. As Snipes goes really wide into Parabolica, Slash taking the inside line.
Here comes Marlon though on the back of Harry for down in towards turn number 1, round the outside in towards turn number 1 at the retrofit chicane, trying to get the job done. Harry with that induced contact. Marlon just forces him out the way. That is hard but fair racing, even with that desync. Marlon there through and he's into third. Harry will be very unhappy with that, I think. And now he's coming back at him through Curva Grande. Slash, as you mentioned, I think got Footspab in towards turn number 1. He's right on the back of Snipes there as well in that back battle. But Marlon there through and he's into third. Harry in fourth. FBR will probably come at me and say, James, you didn't really call that race. I think I did. Marlon there through and he's into third. Harry there in fourth. And Harry, either struggling in terms of his tyres, or struggling certainly as a result of a bit of damage, because Garufel's right on the back of him now with 100% of VRS.
Yeah, Harry, maybe he hasn't set up, maybe he has his car set it up completely for dry conditions on track, and this is really painful for him to drive in this kind of conditions as he picks up a 3-second time penalty. Only second driver to do it so far in the race. So that's clearly an indicator that something's wrong with that Ferrari.
Yeah, Axelino, the other one that has picked up a 3-second penalty, he's running down there in 7th on the back of that train. In fact, between Marlon all the way down to Axelino. The battle in behind, though, going to get very interesting coming through Parabolica. Snipes and Slash are pretty much side by side coming out of Parabolica. Of course, no ERS in effect. Footspab, though, is going to have a beautiful run on Slash down in towards turn number 1. Surely not going to be late on the brakes in towards turn number 1 here. Keki also running side by side with Tom. And it's 3 wide in towards turn number 1. Snipes down the inside line. Slash, down the inside line there of Snipes. And in the end, the remain as they are. Great racing. Snipes in there, 9th. Slash there in 10th. Footspab in 11th. And Keki got the job done on Tom in the background.
Yeah, as now Harry at the moment is creating something we like to call a trolley train, or something that used to be called a trolley train in real life F1 back in the day when Jarno Trulli was trying a Renault.
Harry, by the way, has made a huge mistake somewhere out on track. It's now 1.6 seconds. Either Marlon's got so much pace, or Harry's just made a real bad mistake. And Garuf and Leclerc and Axelino all had to slow up, and all of them have been cost time as a result of that. As I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the rain still falling out on track? I think it is.
It's
yeah, the rain is still falling.
It's slightly drizzling, but I think the intensity is lighter.
Oh, Axelino trying to go down the inside. That's just silly. The Clope just shut the door on him, I think, there from Axelino's perspective. Axelino round in the Williams. NLR going to be absolutely annoyed with that. Oh, and he rejoins just in front of Tom coming out of the final corner. Tom was very lucky not to get any damage there, and it's now 3 wide down the straight in the background. Axelino being swamped by every single angle from Izza and Tom, and surely Axelino doesn't want to try and go for the move. He's very annoying, he's very late on the brakes. Tom just about boxed him in, and Izza's going to try and get from the outside of Tom in the meantime. And there's still contact coming through, and Axelino now is potentially going to get both of them coming through Cover Grande. This will be absolutely epic if we can get the job done. Izza and Justbrand right on the back of this as well. 2x2, Noah's opposite come through Cover Grande. Axelino to the inside line on Tom, coming through into the Delaware chicane. Surely job done. Beautiful stuff from Axelino. Through and he's into 12.
How did he get stopped? I thought he'll go miles wide into runoff, but he didn't, so really good move from Axelino, as now he's catching up Slash, Kiki and Footspab ahead.
Yeah, speaking of Footspab, he's right on the back of Snipes coming in towards Ascari, not getting the job done though. Obviously with 14% of VRS, drivers trying to minimise obviously the wheel spin that obviously this game brings with very high revs coming out of Ascari there from Footspab. Keki though in the meantime on the back of this as well, the LFR man doing a good job in 10th position, and the side-by-side in the background because Justbrand is through on Tom in towards Parabolica. Job done there for the QRT man. He is soon, he's into 13th there in the Alpine. Footspab though on the back of Snipes, the closest battle out on track at this stage. Keki though could have a really good run on them in towards turn number 1. Footspab closing in to the outside line of turn number 1. Snipes on the inside line, has to defend. Beautiful on the brakes there from Footspab, round the outside of turn number 1. Gives him room there, Snipes puts him up on the curb, through out of Retrofilly chicane, pretty much side by side, and Snipes with that extra traction gets the job done, and Slash picks up a 5-second penalty for corner couldn't. I think he escaped down the escape road there, and Keki now under pressure because he's got Footspab and Snipes just in front of him, trying to pressurise them both in, but they remain as they are. Great battle between them both. Snipes goes deep though, Footspab gets a good run, and now Keki's back in this battle as well, and he's a force up on the grass. This is really aggressive racing. Honestly, I'm loving this.
Yeah, go hard or go home, as a certain DTM driver would say. If I don't know if some of the crowd in the stream watches the DTM, because if they watch DTM in the past couple of years, I think they will know about who am I talking about.
Oh my goodness me!
Jesus Christ!
And I was on board with that. And how on earth he managed to recover that, I do not know.
You think I wasn't on board with him? I absolutely was.
I was in the POV shot, and honestly, I thought he was going to lose the car, but he didn't. Great stuff from Keki. Good recovery, but that now cost him because... Yes.
Moved on. Sure, save his time.
Snipes just forced him though all the way to the left-hand side in towards turn number 1. Is he going to get the job done? Footspab in towards turn 1. I think Snipes, by the way, he's got weight on end plate damage to the concertina effect, and it's going like Skittles in the background. Keki is round. Axelino caught up in that wrong place, wrong time. Axelino and Keki caught up in an instant. Concertina effect, all caused by Snipes going a little bit too slow in towards turn number 1 and 2. Might feel hard done by, obviously. Axelino certainly by that. Keki, though, LFR probably thinking, what on earth was that QRT man doing?
Yeah, but Keki's luck strikes again. I will say, as Europe is really keeping up with Harry, who seemed to picked up the pace last couple of laps.
Footspab going around the outside of Ascari. What a move this is! Beautiful stuff by Footspab. Recovers the car as well. That is overtaking the season. Beautiful stuff from Footspab. Snipes now coming back at him, and now it's a war of attrition back in towards Parabolica. This is mad.
This is really great stuff, amazing stuff here. As,
that was terrific.
Yeah.
I just thought I mentioned as well in that battle, Snipes has got right on end plate damage and he still fought like that. Well done to him.
Yeah, well done. Indeed.
Oh, lap 10 out of 27. Feel like we've been commentating about half an hour now, but I don't care. Romanino leads the way. Tim in second, Marlon in third. Marlon has lost a lot of time now to Tim and Romanino. I think as a result of tyres. Justbrand and Slash, however, I think you're on board with this side by side. Down into the Delaware chicane. Justbrand Tooney's into 10th.
Yeah, very cool. But speaking about the overtakes of the season, I think we got quite a few candidates throughout the course of the season. Until this point of season in EML, I don't know if you still remember Gustav's move around the outside of turn 3. I don't know who it was yet. I forgot who it was, but yeah, we saw quite a lot of great overtakes.
Snipes letting Justbrand through, by the way, down in towards Parabolica, and he's got to be very careful because Slash is going to be on the back of him sooner rather than later. The right side end plate damage, by the way, is not really affecting Snipes as Izzer is through on play Tendo further down the field. Slash, though, taking the much thinner line, the line that I take around here in the wet, taking the inside line, again to a bit of time, in towards turn number 1. Romanino leads the way now by 1.3 seconds, who's really gapped out the lead. So Tim there in second, Marlon there in third, Harry in fourth, Garufo in fifth, Declope there in sixth, Zero in seventh, Footspab in eighth, Justbrand ninth, Snipes in the top 10, Slash, Tom, Axelino, Sardi, Kyle Scarrett top 15, Izzer, Playtendo, Keki top 18, along with Patterson and Grosjean, who are still going down after their misfortunes earlier on in the race. Myself and Ivan Tonchek delivering the action for you out on track. And finally, we've got a little bit of calm developing over the circuit.
Yeah, as it feels really strange after the 11 laps of action action, but I don't think the calm will prevail, and that it will be here pretty soon as the gaps are again closing in the midfield.
Yep, and it's all on board the Snipes train, it seems. Snipes normally, to pardon the pun, going to be gunning everyone down, but Slash is now right on the back of him. He's got a 3-second penalty. We'll run through the penalties very quickly. Actually, he's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Marlon fastest lap for the race there. He's set to 26.5. Still losing time to Tim and Romanino, who are ahead. Slash, though, with currently 5 seconds worth of penalty. That was a corner cut through turn number 1. Now, we didn't catch that on the stream. Can only assume he got too hot on the brakes. In the meantime, though, Slash, in the meantime, is on the back of Snipes, running down in towards turn number 1. Not going to get the job done. He's hardly got any ERS left. Relentless man in towards the right-hander at turn number 1, and now the rest of the chicane at turn number 2 through the left-hander there. He is still on the back, as Izzer got all hooked up there on the back of Kyle Scarrett, coming out of Curva Grande they're running through now. Izzer right on the back, actually using up all of this ERS. Is it going to be to good effect? I don't think it is. Kyle Scarrett now pulling away. Izzer, I think, has got more of a cornering setup on than a straight line speed setup, and he just likes the curb a little bit too much there, coming through turn number 4 as well. Other penalties, by the way, Harry on 3, and Axelino also on 3 as well. And Harry's now the one, Ivan, as Marlon's now picked up a penalty. Yeah, coming through a Ascari that was. Harry, though, 3 seconds worth of penalties. He's got Garufo all over the back of him, and Garufo, normally quicker than what he's showing here tonight. He has been a little bit tad underwhelming so far, I think, but he is on the back of Harry now for 4th.
Yeah, he is. As I think the rain will stop pretty soon, and I can barely see the rain now. Marlon sets the first up once again. He's really pushing. I think he was staying tired for the last couple of laps, and now he started to push once again. As Garufo doesn't seem to. He's keeping up with the carry, but he's not again He doesn't manage to break that 6 seconds gap and to get.
Oh my
even
goodness me! Izza on the brakes on Kyle Scarrett. This is further down the field, 15th and 16th. And Izza, if he can get this job done, this will be beautiful stuff. Kyle Scarrett not giving him any inch at all. Beautiful stuff there by Izza. That is just the skill level there from Izza coming out on top. Kyle Scarrett there, no mug at all, has just been mugged off there, I think, by Izza. And actually, no, he's not, because he's nearly side by side towards. Oh, and he makes a bit of contact there through the Delamont chicane. Kyle Scarrett though on the back of Izza. Really good battle there. And now let's play Tendo into play as Snipes is on Slash.
Yeah, the play Tendo side by side going to the second last small.
Good stuff. Good stuff by Play Tendo. It is coming over a lot more cloudier, by the way, out on tracks. I think rain might potentially get a bit heavier compared to the rain that we've got at the minute. Certainly looks like it's coming over a bit more cloudier. Slash gets the curb, coming through Ascari, and again catches the curb on the left-hand side. Still on the back of Snipes. Snipes, honestly, has parked that car like a double-decker bus, and nobody is coming through.
Double-decker bus. That man is parking the car like some sort of a submarine or or something like that. Because I think at this rate they will pass the double-decker bus.
Yeah, definitely parking the double-decker bus. Sali, by the way, through breaking the trend in that little bit of a train. Axelino now down into 14th. Sali there, Thuni's into 13th. And Slash once again. Now side by side. Snipes made a mistake coming out of Curva Grande. And now coming through Curva Grande. Snipes once again is still on the inside line. Slash has got barely any EOS left. And look at the speed of Snipes just going past him. Izza tries to now dive it down the Delarod chicane. Doesn't get the job done. Snipes there in 10th. Slash in 11th. And maybe now side by side to Lesbo 1.
Oh, this is close.
This is incredible racing.
Once again, whoa. Jeez, Slash, keep it calm.
If Jav was still the team manager for running this, I think he'd be telling these guys to calm down at this stage. Slash 7-11, Snipes 7-10. Getting really fraught up in the midfield. We haven't ignored, by the way, the front runners. They're just in a different league at this moment in time. Romanino, Tim, all on top 3. Nothing has happened with the leaders. That's why we're not on board with them. We want to deliver you the action, and this is the action halfway down the field. This is brilliant stuff from all of these guys. Snipes, Slash, Tom, Masalu, Axelino. I'm going to say this now. If they keep it up until lap 27, this is race of the season by a mile.
Yeah, as I mean, I don't want to judge. We'll see the end of the season as every time we said that we got a race of the season on our hands.
Oh my goodness me!
The next
down the inside,
oh!
Slash around the outside of Snipes, and I'm on board with Siding, trying to get the jump on Tom as well. And then now side by side once again, Slash and Snipes literally hung together like super glue, I think, at these stages. Snipes just has too much pace, though, around the outside he goes, and still holds on in 10th position. If you were a QLT member there in the chat right now, you're probably going absolutely mad for Snipes at this stage. They're in 10, Slash in 11, Tom in 12, all comers, all ground, all beaten at this stage for Snipes. He's still in 10th.
I mean, he is like during Alpine after all, and Alpine before it turned Alpine, it was Renault. And one certain driver, as I said, was driving Renault, and he was famous for the change like this.
Oh,
as we
yes,
out,
out of the
safety car.
It's off track.
I think it's a safety car.
It's off track. It's on the left-hand side of the track. I've normally seen safety cars not being deployed for that on the left-hand side of the track. In the meantime, Tom and Siley were side by side in towards Parabolica, and Siley just goes clean right on the outside of Tom. This would be a great move. He can pull this off, and a bit of contact there, a bit of snap from Slash, and he gets held up as a result, Siley. And unfortunately for him, Tom is back and he's into 10, Siley now in 11th, and Slash is the one that has now lost out. In the meantime,
look at the straight line speed.
Yeah, great straight line speed there from Solo. I don't think he's going to get the job done in towards turn 1. In the meantime, though, gap for the lead now, 0.4 of a second. Tim set the fastest lap last time around. Now we've got a race on our hands between the front two. Romanino leads the way. Tim there in second. Molon in third is a distant speck in the background of Tim's shot. Romanino, though, leading the way. Tim, for the first time, applying pressure, and I think it was because of a mistake from Romanino.
Yeah, but Tim is really putting the pushing the car over its limits right now, as I think rain has stopped, or it's slightly drizzling, but I could see behind these clouds. Yeah, I think I could see some clear patches in between those dark clouds, so...
Oh, and Romanino's in! Romanino's into the pit lane from the lead of the race. This is going to be surely onto a set of dry compound tyre. Tim absolutely missed that, and I think the call is now coming from Jeff, or from Tim, or from Mark, I should say, who's the engineer. Romanino onto a set of mediums. The track still looks greasy. Yeah. I think this is too soon.
Yeah, I mean, now it's crucial for the drivers to get this spot on, especially those guys who have pace to be in front.
Oh my god! Oh, side by side into the pit lane! Tom and Siley were side by side into the pit lane, for goodness sake! Tom still hangs on to 11. Siley, though, I thought was going to try and take a cheeky position up on there. Side by side into the pit lane. I rate it. Don't do it again.
Yeah, so I think now it will be crucial for the drivers to get this transition right, to get this cursor right, especially for the drivers who are in lower positions than they should be.
Snipes and Marlon side by side. Somebody cut you off again through Della Roger Chicane. And Marlon's out on top, I think, just about as a yellow flag. That is somebody at the pit lane. And there's Axelino that has spun into safety car. Safety car out on track, and I think that's the saving grace for Romanino.
What has happened there?
How's he?
I mean, he was in the pits. He changed to the sets of mediums. I just wanted to point out that he might have a chance if he gets this transition right. And then this happens.
If you had a camera on me right now, I'm absolutely speechless. I've never seen anybody spinning out the pit lane on this game. And I didn't catch it there fully on the stream, but this now saves Tim, Harry, the likes of which potentially that could have lost the lead of the race, and Tim is going to be in the lead of the race.
Oh,
and Harry spun out the pit lane! Harry has spun out the pits! That is unbelievable! Harry spins coming out of the pit lane! Runs over the curve, runs over the white line. That's unbelievable! Harry's done it again! Unbelievable stuff!
For the sake of stream, I was not laughing at Harry's misfortune and his spinning of the pit lane. I was laughing at James' comment from a couple of seconds ago. This happened, that he never saw someone spinning out in the pit lane in Monza, and then this happened.
I've never witnessed it on this game before, and that's why I'm so shocked. I think Harry spins it out of the pit lane. FVR muddered now, I think, in terms of that, quite literally, in terms of Harry spinning out of the pit lane. I think it's going to be DRS enabled when we get back under green flag racing, but Harry spins out of a potential top 3 finish. He could still pick it up, obviously. He's got fresher tyres than Garufo. Nick Lope, though, you mentioned this, set us off compound tyre. They're going to be quite quick, and judging by how many laps we've got left in this race, they're not going to be too bad at all towards the end of the race.
To be fair, if safety car came on track this lap, so 2 or 3 laps, lap 20 or 21 out of 27, so that could be pretty easily doable.
Yeah, definitely. So Michalizzi, by the way, in the chat has said, and that's a pen as well, right? I think potentially yes. Unfortunately, even if he spun out the pit lane on his own accord, it will be treated on an individual basis. But I know the stewards, if it's a clean white line penalty, as Harry's in the pit lane, must have damage. 5-second penalty, that's him retiring. I think potentially out of the race in the pit box, perhaps. Let's see. Harry into the pit lane. 5-second penalty served. And softs for Harry. Interesting.
Or no, he didn't. Maybe he's still on track.
Front wing change. It was a front wing change from him.
There we go. Please, I have to move from Harris on board, as there is a chance that I might get epilepsy again from how big his racing is.
Oh, he nearly spun coming out the pit lane again, but this time on the right-hand side wall, not on the left-hand side. He's fine this time, though.
Yeah, now Lobby and Littleport is messing up on my screen, so I don't know what on earth is happening. I get that in Suzuka as well in F3.
Yeah, hopefully it's okay. Hopefully we can keep going. It's certainly fine on my end. I think it might just be maybe connection related potentially in terms of the racing
Yeah,
here.
that's probably my recommend. Because
Yeah.
pretty much I have one bar connection to everyone in the lobby.
Might be. Might be indeed. But it is lap 19 out of 27. Tim leads the way from Romanino in second, Moran in third, and Clope in fourth. And about as much unwritten script as you'll get in the Houses of Parliament today in the UK. And that is just from the Conservatives, not from the rest of the parties here in the UK. But in terms of this race right here, we've now got an absolute cracker on our hands. Grosjean, by the way, came back in the pit lane, so that is why we've got the safety car out for another lap. He's on a set of soft compound tyres as well. But Tim now leading the way. The big case was Romanino. If that was a lap later, Romanino, I think, would have got Tim quite comfortably. With the safety car now out, Tim has jumped Romanino, and therefore LFR now in the lead of this race.
Yeah, as now speaking about going back to that, going back to those spinnings in the pit lane, we talked about Mika Hakkinen being added as my team icon in the game, and recently we spoke about our pre-race, and those guys did the same thing that Mika Hakkinen did back in Nestoril in 1995. I think it was, or that was. I think it was Berger as well who did it. I don't know who it was, but I know it was one of McLaren's.
Yeah, I think I certainly can remember from Italy, like because I was a kid I think when this happened. But Hakkinen was in a championship fight around here in Italy, and he beached his car in the gravel after making a mistake. Obviously, was
that the race where about when Mario Walker did commentary? Oh, it's Hakkinen, it's out of the race, it's out of the race. Yeah, I think it was the misshift from gearbox. I think it was gearbox issue. He didn't want to shift down the gear, and he went out, and I think it was De La Rocha or some coordinate like that.
I think it was 1998 or 1999, if I'm not mistaken. One of those 2 years. Safety car, by the way, coming back in. And Tim is not wanting to hang around with this safety car. He doesn't want anybody else to rejoin on the back of this grid. But he has to, obviously, stay within 10 car lengths of that safety car. The safety car is still out on track at this stage. Surely, I hope it's going to be coming back in anyways. Safety car pulls in. Tim now backing up the pack. And should say go on the run to the start-finish line, and everyone backed up very nicely indeed. And Tim now says go across the line, and already side by side in the background, because Zero side by side with Footspam, and now it's full wide in toward turn number one. And look at the speed that Sardi's got. Look at the speed that Snipes has got in behind as well. This is going to end in absolute chaos if they're not careful in toward turn number one.
Oh,
Constantine, in fact, oh my goodness me, there's a huge desync going on.
Yeah, this is like PHGL, it seems. I think it's the exact same thing as PHGL last year.
Yeah, but it's lap 21 out of 27 and might get cut off here, I think, in terms of the potential results. Footspam running through on the back of Playtendo. Playtendo on the back of this as well, and he's on them all. Playtendo right side then plate damage. As a result, the desync cause an effect. Footspam was also spun. That might just eliminate some of the desync that was having, as Playtendo gets the elbows out there on Kyle Scarrett further down the field. But Tim leads the way. Romanino in second. Mollen third. Up front, very comfortable start from everyone as Keki is now spun coming through Lesmo 2.
Yeah, so now I think Nick Leopi will be one to watch, as Marlon is actually really close to the Romanino ahead, and also Tim ahead of Romanino.
Yeah, Marlon looks quicker, I've got to say, compared to the guys who are ahead of him, Romanino and Tim. Marlon looks on it now. He looks like he's got the pace, potentially, to try and spoil the party in terms of the race lead. And speaking of the race lead, Snipes is side by side with Sardi coming out the back road. Here comes Romanino though for the race lead. The FPR man, right on the back of the LFR man. Surely going to dive this down the inside line. No, he thinks second of it. Put Tim in for a bit of full centre, and he has to defend for Marlon coming through turn number 2 as well. At the Retifilo chicane, Tim leads the way. Romanino in second, Marlon in third, the Clope in fourth. And if you want my opinion on that desync, by the way, under the safety car restart, absolute joke. This is why the game needs to be fixed, rather than adding in stupid animations like Codemasters have done. Oh!
Yeah.
Who was that going straight on? It was Zero! Zero going straight on, coming across the Delaware chicane, and he's on the inside line. Catterson is 3 and he's into 9. Zero there down in 10. Just saw a car go off the screen. I thought, honestly, what's he doing? But yeah, he just completely outbraked himself. And now Catterson right on the back of Snipes.
Yeah, as I mean, the scenes we saw on the Easing of the Safety Car Racer were exactly the same scenes at the exact same corners. We saw the PHL PCF1, I think it was last year with F1 2021. 1 year. They had 1 year to fix that same issue. They had 1 year, various feedbacks. And what did they do? They did nothing. They just added stupid animation in the game.
Yeah. Jav, by the way, in the comments section. Oh, and Romanino's on the back of Tim! Oh. And they both spin! They both make contact! Romanino into the back of Tim through turn number 1. That is an absolute disaster for the FVO man. He just rear-ended him. Contact model completely failing there. Tim is sent round. He's all the way down now in 9th. Romanino in 6th position, trying to fend off Izza for 5th at this moment in time. And he holds on to 5th for now. But that was Romanino, unfortunately. Contact model failing. Slightest bit of contact spins the car. Morlon now leads. Niclope now in 2nd. Garufo now in 3rd. NLR now having a field day.
Yep. As Nick Leope is catching Marlon slightly, and this is actually a chance for Nick Leope to actually get the unexpected, we should say, race win.
Catterson around the outside of Ascari, nearly makes contact with Izzo. I think he did there, to be honest. And he's going to rejoin, hopefully not desync it in front of everyone for Ascari. Now the ghosting system fixes itself. I think everything is back normal. It was just that one lap, I think, that we had that desync. Potentially, Marlon the leads the way, Niclope in 2nd, Garufo in 3rd. The stewards, though, will take action, I'm sure, as a result of the desync that we had in that safety car restart. Whether it gets null and void from that point remains to be seen. We're still delivering action, though, out on track, as now Tim gets the job done on 0, and maybe he's going to think about Snipes as well in towards turn number 1, down the inside, into turn number 1. He's so late on the brakes. He gets this job done. This will just be Daniel Ricciardo West, round the outside. Beautiful stuff. That is absolutely insane from Tim. Pulls a negative into a positive, slingshot it to perfection. He's been into 7th. That was amazing.
Zero tries to go around the outside of Snipes.
Oh, and switches the inside line, doesn't get the job done. How on earth Tim not got that done? I do not know. I know Zero was a little bit early on the brakes. His car Scarrett is now in trouble.
Yeah, it's one, the Variante de la Roja, as Nick Leope is gaining on Marlon. As I wanted to point out, that accident between the team and Romanino opened the door to Nick Leope to actually take an unexpected win. I think we should all agree on that in this race, because he's gaining time. He's quicker at this point than Marlon. His stars will probably endure and last until the end of the race. And of course, he doesn't have that 3-second time penalty that Marlon has.
I'll disagree with you there. I think the Clope's tyres are now beginning to go off. It was 6 tenths, it's now 8.5 tenths, so he's actually lost time. Sadly now on the back of Garufo, running down in towards turn 1. F1 man slingshots out the slipstream to the inside line of turn number 1. Should get the job done. Beautiful stuff from the Alfa Romeo. That's racing right there. He's doing his into 3rd. Garufo in 4th. Romanino not entirely out of the top 3 action as well. And he's sideways out of the red field of chicane. Garufo just about keeps in the straight line as well. Contact made, still in 4th and 5th. And how on earth, they're 2 very lucky boys right there that could have easily been contact, and there's not, as Izz is right on the back of Tim as well.
Yeah, so action kicking off in these last 2 laps. The race has flown by here at Monza, I should say. I should say really quick race pace, as behind Zero is the first car in the Snipes train.
Yeah, Zero right on the back of Snipes. Obviously Snipes still in 8th position, having a much better look, by the way, than SRC last night. He's doing a good job. but he is going to drop down the field as a result of that 3-second penalty that he picked up from early on in the race. Same with Marlon, same with Harry, same with Futzbarbers. Wide goes Garufo. Sorry, coming out of that Parabolica. He's went wide, and Garufo now Thuni's into third. This opens the door for Romanino, though, to land himself a potential podium to the inside line now for the Ferrari man in towards turn number 1. Williams on the outside line, Ferrari on the inside line. No corners given in toward the Rettifield chicane, but that is defensive moving there from Romanino. Gets the job done. Garufo just forced out of his line slightly. Little bit over-aggressive, but I like it. Romanino Thuni's into third. That was clean.
Yeah, it's behind Tim, overtakes Sligulu.
What's that? That's Snipes and Zemo side by side into the Delawater chicane. Trying to get the job done. Oh, and he's got on the curb. The curb sent him off there. Zero on the inside line. Snipes gave him absolutely no room. And the curb just comes back to bite Zero, and he's dropped, what, 4 positions?
Yeah, so now Patterson is trying to get a move on Snipes. Look at the straight line speed difference, but I think that's a little bit too far.
Yeah, not going to get the job done. I think if he did, that would have been quite silly, but nice respectful driving there from Patterson. He knows better than that. But yeah, going on to the final lap of the race, Marlon leads the way, Niclope in second, 0.5 of a second the gap. ET8 are looking for, I think, their second win of the season here. Garufo, in the meantime, looking for potential podium. And look at the speed that he's carrying down in toward the Rettifield chicane. Has to surely damn this down the inside line. Garufo on the brakes, absolutely overshoots the corner. Should get still the job done. Romanino around the outside. And Garufo somehow has got third position. That is an insane move. Brilliant stuff from Garufo.
I thought they are still side by side. Because that's the part of Williams' cockpit.
Isman Sidewell, though, in the background, coming through cover Conte. Sidewell and Izza, side by side. Sidewell there in 6th, Izza in 7th, and now they calm down, which is good, as Snipes is on the back of Callison. This is unbelievable.
He won't try and make a move in less than shortly.
Oh.
I think Patterson has this.
He does, but on that side of soft compound tire, he's going to come under a lot of pressure now from Snipes. He's got 11% of VRS running down in towards Ascari. This might look actually a little bit easier than expected. Snipes to the inside line on Callison. He'll have the full car length ahead in towards Ascari. Job done. He's doing his into 8. And now coming to the final corners, Romanino right on the back of Garufo in towards Parabolica. This is the battle for third. Garufo nearly forced him onto the grass. Romanino to the inside line, trying to get the job done. Marlon, by the way, around the final corner. He's going to take the win here in Italy. And now it's a drag race to the line and behind for potential third position. Garufo and Romanino, nothing to split them. Garufo to the line, I think just in front. Romanino in fourth. It's 200ths of a second. That was close to Snipes dropping all the way down the field, further down.
Yeah, wow. What a race. What a race.
Oh, that is incredible. Obviously, first and foremost, I will say, if the stewards obviously decide to take action from lap 19 or lap 21, whenever that issue caused with the safety car restart, they will. If not, these potentially are going to be all provisional race results, so we will throw a little bit of a line over it. Is it, by the way, awarded by the driver of the day, by the in-game fans. Nothing to split Romanino and Garufo to the line. Really good battle from them. Just come to show you can get clean racing around Italy for the most part. Really hard but fair racing, I think, here tonight in the EML Premier. Thank God, I'm out of breath, I think, after that. That's unbelievable. Red Bull to the top 7 of the podium. Is that man there? It is Niclope, and he takes the win for ET8. Marlon in the end. 3-second penalty, doesn't throw him off the podium. He finishes there in 2nd, and currently in 3rd was Garufo. However, the angle that I had, I wasn't convinced. I thought Romanino potentially could have got 3rd there, but it was so close to the line. Of course, the stewards will decipher that one. Afterwards, the champagne now flows here in Italy, the home of the Tifosi, but it's the Red Bulls that have now got their energy going into next week.
Wow.
As Niclope takes the win, 9th, up to 1st on the grid. Marlon there in 2nd, 1.4 seconds off, to be fair. He lost a lot of pace in that final lap. He must have made a mistake somewhere. Garufo there in 3rd, Romanino in 4th, 200ths of a second covering 3rd and 4th. Whether or not those positions change as a result of POVs remains to be seen. Tim there in 5th, Sadi there in 6th, Izza in 7th, from 20th on the grid up to 7th, possibly a driver of the day candidate from us. Catterson there in 8th, very, very strong, I thought, as well. Tom in there in 9th, Zero in 10th. Playtendo, who was really an unknown, I think, coming in tonight, he finishes there in 11th. Slash in 12th, Snipes in 13th. Grosjean in the end, 14th, from being right down the back of the field. Everyone had misfortune in behind him. Keki, Harry, Futzbab, who got caught up in an instant a few laps before the end. Carl Scarrett as well. Only 2 DNFs, both causing a little bit of issues. Obviously, Justbrand with that yellow flag, and the crash there from Axelino, which caused that safety car. And that is it for tonight. We have to draw breath over what happened there. That was insane racing. And I said if they could keep it up to the end, it could be race of the season. I'm just going to back that up and say that was race of the season.
I think I'll still wait with the declaration of that, because we have, I think, around 4 races left, and basically every time we said we got a race season, so a race of the season on our hands, the next race proved to be better.
Yeah, looking at the chat, by the way, in the EML, Marinat saying if the race isn't postponed, then yes, that's because of the points given before the safety car. Yeah, obviously, anything that will come towards with that will be announced next week. I'm sure you'll all be kept up to date on Twitter and through the Discord there as well. The EML F1 Discord, or the EML Premier Discord, I should say. You can keep up to date with the latest things. Plenty of people saying there was a lot of desync. I think it might just be an Italy problem, to be honest. I know I experienced this, I think it was WOR a couple of weeks ago, where the lobby completely desynced and we had to take half points, I think, from one of the races there. And I think it happened in a social race that I covered earlier on. It happens from time to time. It's nothing really that I can do. I mean, I've had a 4-bar connection throughout, so obviously nothing to do on my end. I think it's just the game, just the lobby, and just the servers at the end of the day that really gives us that problem in terms of that. Of course, we could have a new host for next week. If that is the case, then obviously I will be fired in terms of my job. But there we are. Looking through as well, Marlon saying he also had desync. Mark saying who's the ET8 manager. Postpone would make no sense as race was fine until the safety car. So teams with 1 DNF will take an advantage of a full restart. And it could be a 25% race or just a 50% race, only racing the final 12 laps, potentially. That's what's being said in the chat. Obviously, we will bring you up to date next week in terms of the racing. And speaking of next week, we are home at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, or I'm home, certainly, for the British Grand Prix next week on the 26th of October. You do not want to miss, potentially, what could be a ball fest in terms of a DRS train around there. But Britain next week, Ivan, how do we see that race happening out on track? Because normally it's full of DRS trains, and normally you only get overtakes in the final 2 laps.
Yeah, plenty of overtaking opportunities, DRS trains, because the DRS zones are pretty much chained and not separated by much on the track. But I mean, in Silverstone, you don't need to overtake at DRS zones always. You have, I don't know, Cops Corner, Maggots Beckett if someone who wants to be creative, let's say that way. But I certainly expect a good race from that track.
Yeah, definitely. So Marinat's saying he wants a vote as well in terms of potential decisions. Obviously, that will be decided off air. That will be decided, of course, in the future. We go, of course, to Silverstone next week for the British Grand Prix. And I can't wait, because Silverstone's normally quite a good track, and normally good racing around there as well, and normally maybe even a race of the season candidate, dare I say it, after that in Italy. Who knows? Brilliant action, though. Big thank you to Mr. Ivan Tonchik for joining me in the commentary box once again. Good as well to have me back to full voice after that race as well. That took a lot out of me, definitely. But it is all worth it in the end. More action to come, of course, on League Racing TV tomorrow and on Friday. It is TML F1 with myself and Alex the G, who is joining me tomorrow night for TML F1. TML F2 going to be taking you through, of course, by storm and by Infinite Gamer, who's going to be taking the action for F2. And then on Friday, F3, you've got the plum job, unfortunately, by being by yourself, Ivan, for F3. And then F4, of course, it is Neymar and Funky Chicken taking to the action for F4. All races, of course, coming up on League Racing TV, 8 p.m. UK time. And I think we've also got VRS on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, as well. That happens at around 6:30 UK time, if I'm not mistaken. But a big thank you to everyone that tuned in. If you didn't, like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new. And you have to subscribe to chat in our lobbies and our streams from now on. So if you haven't subscribed and you're one of that 45% potentially in terms of that, then obviously please subscribe, because we get money because of it and we get paid as a result. And also, final thing to end off from my end before I end off the stream, there is a mystery prize going on Random Race Weeks. Maze has told me to say this, so probably be fine if I didn't say this on the stream. Random Race Weeks will be giving away a mystery prize to one lucky driver. It could be a prize to benefit your team, F1 merchandise, something to benefit you as a driver, a gift, or another mystery prize. And no, that mystery prize might not contain me appearing to your house and knocking on your door and coming down to hunt you. And that might be a mystery prize that you don't want to get, to be honest. But to enter and win, you must be an EML follower on Twitter, and you must like and retweet the randomly chosen tweet from the chosen race week or announcement tweet. So if you are not followed on Twitter, it is at EML underscore F1 on Twitter. If you do want to follow us, of course, on Twitter, you can retweet this week's race tweet, and you might be getting that mystery prize, of course, which might or might not include a visit from me. But there we are. Big thank you, of course, as I say, to Ivan for joining me in the comment box. We are done here tonight for EML Premier 1. We'll leave you with our sponsor, of course, of NLR. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.